damn it if it isn't really pretty. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's exciting for me because yesterday I received my stuff that I ordered when the Sephora VIB sale was going on. So I have five technically, foundations that I can try. And I also picked up a few things to sort of replenish stuff that I was running out of. I got a few new things, but today I think that I am going to be doing something with the new Melt palette, the Mary Jane palette. And of course I looked at this in the store. I actually bought this in the store. And I haven't opened it or swatched it or anything like that. So I thought, well, I'm going to share that with you guys on camera for my eye look today. For the foundations that I picked up, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do like foundation week or something like that this coming week. That's kind of my plan. So I have the Nastasha Denona Foundation X Plus. This is supposed to be a full coverage foundation. We'll see about that. I also got the new, I think this is relatively new. I could be wrong about that. This is the Gucci foundation beauty fluid, I guess it's called, natural finish fluid foundation. And I picked up the Givenchy Prisme Libre Skin Caring Glow. I don't speak French, clearly. So I have that one to try. I picked up the newest one from the Sephora brand. This is the Best Skin Ever. And I ordered this one, but when I was in the store the other day, I actually tested the color to make sure that I was going to be getting the right color. And I think it'll be okay. Oh, I said technically I have 5 because I asked for a sample of the Tom Ford Traceless foundation, and they sent me this little card. I think today I'm going to do the Natasha Denona one. And not for any particular reason, just because I feel like it. And I got the shade 22R Light, and this has a red undertone. So we'll see how that looks. And let's see, what else did I get new that I'm going to try today? Oh, I got the new Huda Beauty brow pencil. Now I'm just going to use this. I'm not going to use this on camera because brows are boring. Boring. They're boring for me. They're boring for you. So I'll let you know what I think of it. But the tip on it is super. It's two-ended. So it's got a spoolie on one end, and then it's got like the finest pencil I think I've ever seen on anything. So I'm kind of excited about that. And I got the black brown color. I got the Patrick Ta. This is the She's Statuesque. This is like a cream contour and then a powder bronzer duo. And I swatched this yesterday and it seems really pretty. I'm hoping that, you know, it will see me through multiple seasons and not be like too light right now or too dark or whatever. I think this is the lightest one, so I don't think there's anything that's lighter than this, but there are, I don't know, 3 or 4 shades, something like that. That's $38. I do why I remember that price, I have no idea. Also, when I was in the store, I picked up the Fenty Beauty powder foundation. Now I don't personally like powder foundations for me on my skin. They're just not something that I like, but I do like to powder, and so I thought, well, if this, you know, adds like a little bit of coverage maybe while powdering at the same time, that might be kind of cool. This might be something that I put in my purse for touch-ups, things like that, although I don't do that a lot, to be honest, when I'm out and about. I got the shade 185. I think I am going to just prime with my paint pot from MAC. This is the one in Painterly. And we'll use that today under my eyeshadow, and we'll see what we think of that. So I'm kind of interested in what people are getting in their orders from the Sephora VIB sale. I always like to see what's new and kind of what grabs people and stuff to actually pick up. Oh, one of the other things that I got for like the, you know how you can get samples, pick samples, 2 I think per order, something like that. I got the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter for a Superstar Youth Glow, whatever the fuck that means. And I tried out the number 3 one last night before I took my makeup off and stuff. It's the light medium one. God damn it if it isn't really pretty. So I'm seriously considering getting this product. I think I'm going to try this today instead of like a highlight. We'll see, you know, how. This is one of those products that you can use multiple ways. So you can put it under your foundation, mix it with foundation, put it on top like a highlighter, which is what I plan to do today. And there's a 4th way, but I can't think what it is. Maybe by itself. Anyway, the little sample comes with a lot of colors. So again, I might give my sister-in-law the darker ones and see what she thinks of those. Trying to get her more into makeup. I'm like, come over to the dark side. So I think I'm going to zoom you in just a little bit so that I can kind of show you a little better, you know, what I'm doing with my eyes. This is it's a pretty palette. There's no doubt about it. It's very neutral. If you've seen pictures of it. So that's what the packaging looks like. There's the colors. So pretty, really pretty, pretty colors. All right, so I think I'm going to start out with the color Mari. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. It's that second one there. And we're just going to put that a little bit in the crease. I don't usually start with my crease. I usually start with like whatever I want the darkest color to be on the outer corner. I'm not going to do anything super fancy, I don't think, today. Because like I say, I'm just going to an appointment. But I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to pick this color up, and we're just going to put it all through that sort of upper crease area. I mean, I really didn't need this palette, but I was kind of intrigued, and you know, I tend to like more colorful palettes or things that have a little bit more, I don't know, interesting colors. And I've been really trying to be careful with my purchases this year, as far as not buying a ton of stuff just to say I bought something. I've been filming for 11 minutes and I haven't fucking said anything of any worth. So I also picked up the Honeymoon Glow from Pharmacy, which is a product that I've bought before and was out of, needed. But I also picked up their newest cleansing balm, and it's like the something apple, I don't know, fresh apple, something like that. And I used it last night. It was nice, really nice. Whether or not it replaces my Clinique Take the Day Off balm, we shall see. Alright, so I think I'm going to go ahead and pick up the darkest shade in here, which is called Sinsemilla. Again, I don't know. I'm sure I'm butchering those names. But this is like the darkest brown, and it's super pretty. I love really dark, rich browns in this. I really like the dark browns. They're a little easier to work with sometimes than black. So they still add depth, but they don't, I don't know, they're not quite as alarming, scary, although I love a good black. So this kind of reminds me of the Rot shade, I believe it is, in the Rust Melt palette. In the Melt Rust palette, I should say. So far, I am having no issues like blending or anything like that. I'm not so worried about right in here, but I definitely like that outer area to be nice and blended, nice and dark too. How's everybody doing? I have new subscribers. I'm so excited. And I hope some of my new subscribers are watching this. Hi guys! me take a clean, or let me go back to that first brush and just kind of blend that edge a little bit. So yeah, I was super excited to sort of plan out my next few videos and stuff, because it's been a while since I've been kind of, I don't know, inspired, I guess. I thought, well, I've got these 4 or 5 different foundations, and I think I'm just gonna do like this big foundation splurge kind of thing. You know, I really want to take the color Gaspar, which has got almost kind of like a green undertone to it. I don't know if that really shows up on camera, but I'm kind of digging that color. So I think I'm going to do that on my inner corner, not my inner quarter, my inner crease area, just to kind of see what that looks like. I'm not sure I can tell a whole lot of difference. This might be one of those that I'll have to try it more on its own to see how it differs from the other 2 shades I've put on so far. But I feel like it has a little bit more of a greenish undertone. And again, I didn't really need this palette, but I do enjoy most of Melt's palettes. I really hope that they bring back the what are they called? You know, the 2-sided palette, Muerte and Vita, is it? I'm not sure, but if you know anything about Melt shadows, you know what I'm talking about, because they're probably the ones that people really would go crazy for if they were able to re-release those. They may not be able to. That may be, you know, that may be a thing. That may be something that they can't do for whatever reason. Can't get the same pigments, or who knows. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of that darkest color. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 mattes, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers. I kind of wish it was the other way around. I wish there were 6 mattes and 4 shimmers, but especially because I'm not a huge fan of these sort of like silvery type of colors. They're just not something that I typically go to. And I am getting some fallout here, which is not, I don't know, it's not unusual, I don't think, to get fallout. I'm going to pick up that first shade again, and I've kind of cleaned off my brush here, so I'm just going to extend that above those 2 darker colors just to kind of blend out those edges. So not super impressed with those 2 lightest colors as far as on their own. I don't think they would probably have the impact that I would like them to. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Sweet Lucy, and I think I will spray this just to try to get the most bang for my buck, but I'm going to pick it up on my brush. It's a bit of a chunky, flaky formula picked up on a brush, so I don't know how this is going to go. I prefer to be able to pick up my stuff on a brush if I can, but I'm going to go ahead and spritz it with a little bit of Fix Plus, and let's see. Alright, so that's pretty enough, but let me see if I can. Yeah, I feel like I get a little bit more payoff with my finger. So let me try just my finger on the other side. And then I'll blend a little and probably do a little more. Yeah, I feel like that is better with a finger. Let me try to pick up a little bit more here on my brush. Most especially for that area there in my crease where it meets up with the dark. So lots of fallout. You can see that. So that is a really pretty color. I like the sort of, what would you call that? It's like very sort of antiqued almost. Massive fallout though, so at least right now I would recommend doing your eyes first before your foundation. So let's see if we can clean that up just a touch or a lot. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's not that it's not pretty, it's more, is it worth the 58 bucks? Because this is 58 bucks. Just gonna put a little bit of that in Mary Jane, since I feel like it's a very sort of sheer topper color. Right there on the center of my eye. All right. Well, I will probably go in with those same browns that I used before, maybe one of the other ones too, because I don't think I used the color Rubia, so I think I'll probably do that, and maybe Sensimilla under my eyes when I get to that point. So let's see, I think I'm going to clean up a little bit more. That's very glittery, flaky. How do I feel about this? I think if like glitter down on your face bothers you, you might want to avoid this. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner and my brows, and then I will be back and we will attack the Nastasha Denona Foundation X Plus and see what we think of that. I like the Huda brow pencil. It's tiny, which is really nice to make a nice, you know, tapered end to your brow if you extend your brows at all like I do. The color seems fine. It looks a little red to me on my monitor, but in real life it looks fine. I went over that with the Easy Breezy Brow from CoverGirl, and this is the medium one. It's not really quite as dark as I like, and it's kind of a mess. It's kind of a messy one, but I went ahead and used it today. It's okay. Let's see. Okay, I also have some sunscreen on. I used the Josie Marin one today to avoid any tinting and therefore, you know, changing of this product that I am about to use as soon as I find a brush. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use a IT Cosmetics brush. I have a sponge, which by the way, I picked up at Ross. This is an e.l.f. sponge for $2.99. Normally I think they're $5. I like the e.l.f. sponges a lot. They're nice and squishy. The white, of course, will not stay white, so you know, don't get too attached to that. If you manage to pick up the, I think this is called the marshmallow blender or something like that. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna shake this up. You can hear that it's got a like a little mixer ball in it, so I'm gonna go ahead and shake that up. And I think the color is okay. I swatched it last night. I swatched all of these last night to make sure that they were going to be okay as far as shade. They're all very different, which is kind of interesting, but I can usually get away with quite a few different kinds of shades on my skin. I don't like anything that's too yellow. But, I don't mind if something's a little on the fair side. I don't mind if it's a little darker, as long as it's something that if I like it, I can wear in the summer. So I'm going to take, this is supposed to be a full coverage foundation. I'm going to take, there's one pump. Let's take two, and we'll see if that does my whole face or if I need more or what. I'm not a big full coverage person, so we shall see. And I'm just going to pick that up on my brush, and we're we're gonna put it on my face. And so to me this looks more yellow than red. So I don't know how meaningful those sort of undertone terms are. And I've only dipped in once here, so I still have some foundation on the back of my hand. Not a ton, but we're gonna see if we can't get this to go over my whole face. And then we'll add more if we need to. Normally I don't do my brows until after I do my foundation, but today I did them first, so well, we have to kind of go around my brows a little bit here. So just sort of stippling, and pretty much used those two pumps. I'm going to bring it up a little bit, not too much I don't think, because I think I will go ahead and put a little bit of concealer on. Alright, let's see. Color-wise, I feel like it's a little dark and a little yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and brush a little bit over my ears and down my neck, of course. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think that this is full coverage with two pumps and a brush. That's nice. It's nice, you know, like a nice high medium, I think. But I can still see, you know, little sunspots and freckles and things like that. It did seem like it did a nice job covering up most of my redness that I have. I'm gonna take one more pump, and I'm gonna see if I can build it up on the perimeter of my face a little bit. And then I will go over this with a sponge just to make sure that I don't have too much crap on my face and I pick up any excess. Make sure I push it into my skin. I always say, I know people like to do like, you know, quick makeup and out the door makeup and stuff like that, but if I have to be out the door in 5 minutes, I don't wear anything. That's just how I am. I'm like, I either go the full glam or I don't bother. So that's pretty. It's got a nice finish to it. I'm not mad about it. Now, like I say, I am going out for an appointment and a few errands, and so I'm going to be able to wear this all day. One of the things that I have to do is I have a medical test, echocardiogram, if you know what that is. Got to check in on the ticker. But so I will be wearing a mask for a large percentage of my day, I think. That takes like an hour, I think. So not the funnest test in the world. I've had it once before. Lots of like breathing in and holding it and letting it part way out and holding it and that kind of stuff. So I always feel a little loopy afterwards. Okay, so I did pick up some of this on my sponge. I really like this, like looking at my mirror, which is what, maybe 18 inches in front of me. I feel like it looks really pretty, really pretty. So let me grab my close-up mirror and let's see what it looks like. So this is really nice. I really like this. at least so far. We'll see how it wears throughout the day. And if I can, I will come back and do a check-in. But if not, I'll let you know what I think of it in the description box. Okay, so for now I'm going to move on to the Patrick Ta contour bronzer palette. And I'm going to start out with the cream product in here, which is the one under the little plastic thing, which I really appreciate because, you know, you don't really want to get a lot of powder mixed in with your cream products. And I am going to pick up a angle brush, and I'm going to pick this up. And it doesn't look like super cool or anything like that, but it still seems like it'll be a nice contour. It's not nearly as cool as the Fenty Amber, which is the one that I usually use. So I'm just going to use my angled brush, and I'm just going to kind of push that in where I would normally contour my face a little bit, which is right in here. And I tend to go from like my upper ear down to this little sort of natural divot that I have in my face. This is not the best brush for this because it's a little too like wide. But it's not too bad. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to put just a little bit right here at my temples. I feel a little bit like I could have gotten away with one shade darker, but I'm always hesitant about that because I don't want something that's so, you know, noticeable. I like my contour to be pretty subtle. I'm not picking any more up. I'm just kind of going under my jawline a little bit and blending that out. So that seems nice. I mean, I like the formula. It's very creamy. Let me put a little bit more on using my finger just for fun. I do like a product that you can use your fingers with as well. Although I love my tools, I really do. I'm a big fan of that. Let me just take my sponge here, just lightly tap over that to make sure there's no like streaks or anything like that. So now I am going to pick up the Fenty powder foundation, and like I mentioned before, I have shade 185. It's pretty light, but that's okay. I'm going to use just my usual powder brush, and I'm going to focus this mostly in my T-zone, and I'll put a little bit over my cheeks so that I can blend my blush and my bronzer from the Patrick Ta into that as well. Ooh, before I get too much further with my powder here, I do want to conceal. Let me do that real quick. But I like to blend it out with a brush and then tap over it with my fingers. All right, yeah, that's pretty. All right, let me go back to the powdering. I'm using very little because, like I say, I'm not going to use this as a foundation because I don't like powder foundations on myself, but I do like having a nice powder, and usually I use a loose powder, but today we're not. So far so good, I think. Or let's go back to that Patrick Ta, and I'm going to dip into the bronze shade here and see what we think of that. So you can see things through this foundation for sure. So in that regard, I'm going to say I don't feel like it's a full coverage foundation. So I think that's real pretty. We'll see like how it sits around my nose and around my mouth and stuff as the day goes on, and whether or not that, you know, presents any kind of problem. Do I want to do, let's go ahead and do that Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter crap that looked really pretty last night when I tried it, god damn it. So I'm going to try shade number 2 today, and we're just going to use that kind of as my my highlighter, I think. So I'm just going to use my fingers. God damn it if that isn't really pretty. See, I was really resistant to the Charlotte Tilbury anything. I don't have anything of hers because I see the palettes and stuff and I'm like, they just look all the same. I mean, it's not that they're not pretty, and if you like neutral palettes and stuff like that, they're pretty. But it's like, you know, the KKW stuff, Too Faced, and so many people are doing so many, I don't know, it all fucking looks the same to me. And I don't like that. I think I'm going to use the Jouer blush today, and I'm going to go in with the shade Love Me. This is a palette that I use a lot, so I'm going to go in with this one that's a little bit pinker. See if I can show you better. There we go. That looks better. But blushes don't excite me the way that eyeshadow palettes and foundation does. So that's I'm just being real there. All right, let's go back into that Mary Jane palette and put something under my eyes. I'm gonna go into the shade Rubia, and I'm gonna put that under my eyes. Let's see how dark that is, and then figure out if I need to, you know, add something else. So I used Rubia and Sensimilla under my eyes. Pretty. Shall we do the gray? Let's do Santa Maria, a little bit of that in the inner corner. Or not. Wow. The fallout from the metallic shades in this palette is not making me happy. And normally, if you've been here before, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I don't freak out about fallout. Let's put a little bit of Kali in there. Just over the top. Yeah, okay, let's see. Let me take a little clean brush because, wow. I mean, I know fallout happens, but I need to be able to clean it up and not make a giant mess of it. Moving on. So I'm going to use the Colourpop cream gel liner, and this is in the shade Overboard. I'm going to put that in my waterline. Let's see, shall I just put some lip crap on right now? Let's put some lip crap on. So I'm just going to use the Sephora liner in the Nudist. Is that what this is called? Yeah, the Nudist. I don't know why I have to look. I bought this pencil twice. I'm going to fill in with the Gucci lipstick. I bought this a while ago. They're so pretty. The packaging and stuff of Gucci lipsticks is beautiful. This is the shade Lorna. Anyway, this is one of those really nice, like, cool tone nudes. I like these kinds of colors. I don't like things that are too peach or too pink. It's just not my jam. All right, so I'm gonna go finish off my eyes, put on my mascara, and maybe try to do something with this hair of mine. And I will come back and I'll give you some final thoughts on these new products that I tried today. Like I say, this is going to be, I think, the first of 4 to 5 episodes for Foundation Week this coming week, or at least I hope this coming week. but I have all these new things to try out, and I really want to do that for you and, let you know what I think of it so that I can either save you some money or encourage you to get something because it has worked for me. Everybody's a little different. Everybody's skin is different. Mine's typically normal to dry, and I have freckles and age spots or sunspots or whatever you want to call them. I do lines, things like that, because I'm almost 52, and so things are going to set a little different on my skin than they are that somebody that's 20 or 25. But I'm going to go ahead and finish off my eyes, and I will come back and share some final thoughts on these new products that I used. And yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, I am back, and I've got the rest of my eyes done. And let me just give you a couple of thoughts, at least at this point, as far as these new products. I'm going to start with the eyeshadow palette. It's not that I don't think that this is pretty. It's obviously it's very pretty. It's a very pretty, neutral color story. The fallout on this is kind of off-putting for me, and that's saying something because usually I don't feel that way about fallout. But those two lightest shades are extremely glittery, and even although the dark shades in it are beautiful, and there was a lot of payoff as far as the colors and stuff. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit more and see what I think. But if you're thinking about buying this palette, hold off for a little bit and really give it some thought, and go into Sephora and have them swatch it for you and all of that, because although I really like the way my eyes look today, do I like it better than some other palettes that I have? I don't think so. But, I'm going to play with it some more. I'm going to use some of the other colors that I didn't use today and see what I think. And maybe I'll try using that for at least a couple of the foundation videos that I'm going to have coming up. And just so you can see a couple of different looks. Although, really, whatever you use this palette for, at least in the way that I tend to use eyeshadow palettes, and I tend to do not the same look, but I tend to sort of put things in the same places and stuff. And I like a dark outer corner, and I like a shimmer on my lid, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to play with this a little bit more. My jury is out on it, whether or not it's worth the $58. If you were lucky enough to get it for 20% off during the VIB sale, that would definitely make it more appealing. But yeah, my jury is out on this one. For the Natasha Denona Foundation X, I like it. It is fairly makeup-y looking because it is a full coverage foundation. I think my skin looks good. It's a little heavy looking around my mouth. What I might do is play with this a little bit by mixing in like a facial oil or something like that, just to kind of see what I can do with it and see if I can sheer it out or lighten it up just a little bit. I do feel like if the color was a little bit better for me, a little bit less dark, I might like it better. I'm not really sure about that. But I'll see how it wears throughout the day, see if it settles anywhere, if it breaks apart anywhere, anything like that, which, foundations can do depending on your skin type. The Patrick Ta Bronzer and Sculpting Duo, nice, very nice. Worth $38, maybe. I like the way that it, looks on my face and stuff. I do. I think it's real pretty. And I like a cream contour, and I like a cream bronzer too, but this is one of each. So cream contour, powder, bronzer. The Fenty powder foundation, the Pro Filter powder foundation, I like for powdering my face and stuff. I did go in with just a little bit more right in here, just to kind of mattify that a little bit, because I like to be matte here. I don't mind being glowy other places, but I like to have a relatively matte T-zone, but I have to be careful because things can look too powdery, and I don't like that either. So I like the Huda pencil for my brows. I'll keep using that for sure. Do I like it better than some other things that I use? Like I use the Brow Stylist a lot from L'Oreal, I think it is. Is it from L'Oreal? Yes, the Brow Stylist Definer. I like this pencil really a lot. I like the one from Revolution really a lot. I like the Anastasia Brow Wiz is of course a classic and it's good, but I haven't had that one for a long time because, I don't know. It's like, is it worth it to spend, $18 to $28 on a brow pencil? I don't know, but I do like the super thin lead on that one just because it makes it really easy to draw in little hairs if you like to do that, or extend your brow ends, your brow tails. The Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, I think I'm gonna buy this, guys. I do. I don't want to. It's expensive. It's like $44 or something like that, and for using it the way I will likely use it, it's a lot of product. It really is. And I was going to get the mini one, but the only one available is the darkest shade. So if you think you can get away with that, the darkest shade in it, I would recommend getting the mini just to try. Hopefully they'll get the mini sizes back in at Sephora. We'll see. Maybe they have them at Nordstrom or something. I will link everything down below. They're not affiliate links or anything like that. They're just to help you go shopping. I'll let you know if anything, falls apart, or if I keep having fallout on my face from this eyeshadow palette. That may make, a difference as far as how I ultimately feel about it. But I am going to keep wearing it this week while I'm trying out these other foundations that I tried. So be sure and come back and watch for those, because I'm excited to try out the Gucci one and the Givenchy one and even the Sephora one, which I've had pretty good luck with the Sephora brand foundations. For me anyway, they've worked out pretty nicely. All right, I think that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time here. If you enjoyed this video while you were watching it, I hope you will give it a thumbs up. If you like to see foundation testing and eyeshadow testing and all that kind of stuff on somebody that's a little bit more mature, then I think you might be in the right spot. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love to have new subscribers. And until my next video, bye guys.